So OBS decided to use my terrible graphics card and not the really good one for some reason. So a lot of the video is going to be really laggy and stuff. So bear through it. It might be funny, it might just suck. But if the showcase stuff, you don't like it or it's terrible, whatever, just skip to this timestamp and then you should see the good stuff of just me complaining 24/7. I'm going to test Welt, see if he's actually a good sustain. Why is it so laggy? Are you serious? Okay, so let's go with this.
Leave it to me.
That's tragic.
Stand down.
And I'm dead already. Okay, so I lost just from the guaranteed hits. This is the only boss I can test it on. Are you serious? Okay. Did a lot of testing off screen. It seems like the only thing he's really good at are enemies you would never struggle with to begin with. At all. So my issues with Welt as a sustain is you're very limited to the enemies you can fight, and high speed enemies just full counter him, which is just tragic. And difficult enemies, ones with like big toughness bars, also full counter him. Like a lot of enemies that you want to fight don't work with Welts, which is just sad. But out of every boss that you can fight, this is the only one I could find. It's a massive L on Welt's part. Yet he's already failing. You have to use him perfectly with no room for error. That's definitely a good thing you want on your support. Want it on all your characters. Yeah, totally. Jesus. Okay. She's gonna one-shot the boss, though. That's not really a good sample. Yeah, all the way to 120 is crazy. Boom. Yeah, so without break, like, you just get hit. I'm already screwed, though. Wow, look at Welt's health. He's such a good sustain, guys. Like, trust me, he is. Like, oh my god. His damage is the only thing that I ignored, so... Never break. I've always hated break-related things in Star Rail, because you never fucking break, ever. It's so unbelievably unrealistic. Look at me going crazy on Welt, though. This is so dumb. There we go. 166 is genuinely crazy. Yeah, so you need like 150 speed on Welt just to make him even useful. Y'all were smoking something fierce, bro. Like, this is like a screen, like damage per screenshot, like, but supports. Like, I've never been this disappointed in a highly recommended unit ever. This is so, like, it's so bad that I have to reread his kit for the 5th time just to make sure I'm not messing it up because of how terrible it is. I mean, one thing people do like a lot when it comes to Welt is his damage, which, like, doing 50k, like, kind of often is not it cheap. Oh yeah, I lost, by the way. Guaranteed hit.
This old man does more damage than you think. I'm sure that most people know that Welt is good, but I'm also pretty sure...
Yeah, no. You have to get hit the first time because she's too fast. She's not even a fast, like, enemy either, which is the depressing part. Yeah, so he's pretty good for a very short battle against enemies who have low speed and a low toughness bar. Or you have a unit that can just shred toughness, one of the two. But my goodness, have I never been more disappointed. 188 is crazy. Yeah, it's just like taking a screenshot how far back they go. That's all this is. I have used him on a lot of things, but having him have to fight things that are literally slow with a low toughness bar and a battle that's not going to last long is like the definition of a battle you don't try it all in and you just like auto battle, walk away for 5 minutes and come back and it's done. Like you probably could walk away for 10 seconds and it's gone. Like, what the hell? Like that just is not it at all, Chief. Like that's just unbelievably terrible. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, now you can definitely do multiple rotations without her attacking. Boom! I have to actually speed him up is disgusting. I'm
Stand down.
disturbed on a personal level. I'm actually gonna have to speed up Welt. He's not fast enough. It's crazy. That's actually crazy. Bruh. Yeah, Welt's like so good. Jesus, dude.
Or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Okay, got him. Now she's at 150. It's so funny seeing that, though. Totally worth all the pain. Nope.
Enemy targets detected. Ready for another?
There we go. Okay, so that last battle just shows exactly, like, everything you need to see for Welt, I guess. That one was actually perfect. For painting him in a good light, though, bruh. Oh my god. So, you would need, in order for Welt to actually be really good, you have to have a lot of toughness, like, damage. You have, like, a good example is just Sampo. So if you have Sampo, where the hell is Sampo at? If you have Sampo with Welt, he would cook because you could just shred the toughness on them, and then you also have to have imaginary weakness, and you have to have your main DPS weakness, which is just depressing. So him as a solo sustain alone in a random team is a pretty terrible idea in my opinion. Like, in order for you to actually use him properly, you would have won 1,000 times over with a different team. It's just depressing. But Acheron in particular is a little different because she wants a nihility. She also wants debuffs. He gives debuffs. He's nihility. OMG. No, he's just dog shit. Like, I'm going to be real with you and just say exactly who's better. One little funny character, one who's a little too good to be a 4-star, Gallagher solos his ass easily. With Gallagher, you have a higher DPS. A higher DPS with Acheron. With Acheron, a higher DPS than Welt, even including Welt's damage. It's disgusting. It's actually disgusting. You would have to have a perfectly min-maxed Welt that is just like 150 or 160 speed, like just a disgusting level of speed. Enough of the other stats as well, but oh my god, like look at the energy regen that I have on this man. Like look at this. I have energy regen here, and with the action advance at the beginning of the battle, which is really important if you don't have enough speed or you don't have like 150. But I also have his thing right here, which I keep forgetting to test out independently. But yeah, that's just sad. That's just so sad. With all of this, with this genius build right here, he still just sucks, like, miserably. I had a 4-piece set of this, and I had the other set that was really good. This one low diffs it, like, it's night and day. If I use a normal build on Welt with like 130 speed and everything, he is completely dog shit. He just can't even do anything at all. This is the only build I made that actually is even remotely decent. Like you're telling me all of those things I said make him the best sustain or like one of the best for Acheron? Yeah, my ass. I'd rather use just Fu Shuang. Like literally, oh my god. This one trace somewhere that I can't find. Yeah, right here. Crit rate by 12. That automatically makes her better than Welt. Like, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. I'd rather use Geopard, which he is extremely good for some reason. He has 0 speed. Did I build him wrong? I'll rebuild him later, but... oh yeah, a little random advice. Geopard actually is better than Bailu for solo sustain, which is very interesting. I used the two and compared them, and it was just night and day. Like he soloed, and it was like disgustingly good. Like he's actually very underrated. But you know who's not underrated? Well, look at this. Look at this. Like, he looks cool, and he's cool, but, like, that doesn't justify losing all the damn time. And, like, in order for him to work properly, you had to have him with, like, imaginary weakness, and you had to have the main DPS weakness you also have. So, like, it just limits, like, you just so much. And actual difficult content just solos Welt, which is sad. Like, for sustains, if you compare him to everything, like, Natasha does a better job. Like, Natasha. That's tragic. Yeah, no, he's terrible. Okay, so from all the testing, if you have a really, really good build on him, like, you min-max him, he just gets you by. Like, he's just someone to, like, he's like a $200 car. Like, he just gets you to work sometimes. Like, that's literally it. Like, he's like a $200 car. Like, he just gets you to work sometimes. He's so just disgustingly bad. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm switching back to Gallagher. The best actual sustain will be the one gambler guy when he comes out. The guy who is, like, unbelievably gay. Can't remember his name. But after looking at Aventurine's actual kit and stuff, I came to the conclusion that no, he's not that good. Everyone fucking lied straight to my face. Literally straight to my face. Everyone was saying that he was going to be so good and probably the best sustain for Acheron. Yeah, no. Apparently everyone just loves to fucking lie about Acheron. Supports every 2 seconds. Jesus. No, he's not good, and he won't be. I mean, as a sustain, he's going to be goated. But that one Lightcone on him, you would have to bank on him being hit 3 times before, like, him actually being able to use his turn. So, I mean, it can't. Like, I don't know. I think I would have to test that out in-game first to see how realistic it is. It's something that people would have to use for a while and actually figure out if it is worth it or good. And in my opinion, I don't think so. I think Geopard actually might be even better. I don't know. I don't think he will be. Because Geopard, he has a lot of aggro, so he gets hit all the fucking time, which is awesome. But honestly, just use Gallagher at that point. That's disgusting how I just said 4 stars. Better than both 5 stars. But, so, ignore all the times I said Aventurine, aka the gay guy, would actually be good. I don't know, but I'm pretty confident that he won't be. Like, if you want to pull for him for Acheron, wait until, like, the last 2 weeks of the banner, then pull, because people would eventually find out if he's worth it or not for Acheron. He will be locked to a single Lightcone, so I don't know if, like, the aggro will be good or bad. I don't know how many times he's going to get hit, because if he gets hit 3 times before he gets to go, then he actually might be better. No, then he just will be better than Gallagher, flat out, because Gallagher gets to do 2, and rarely do you break with Gallagher, but he could do 2 pretty quickly. So I don't know. Someone will have to use it for a while and compare the 2 and all that. So ignore when I said he's good. Instead, just think of Gallagher instead of the gay guy, aka Aventurine. Yeah, I honestly did not expect him to be that bad. People are just deranged for some reason. I genuinely, like, in all seriousness, do not know why it's even remotely brought up that much, because people don't actually do the math themselves or even put in much thought at times. Like, it's disgusting. Like, how the hell did 2 highly hyped up supports for Acheron not be compatible with Acheron? Like, Welt is horrendously specific in very certain situations with very certain enemies and yada yada yada, but zero cycling never counts. You use what works, not what's good. Whatever works for zero cycles. But I'm genuinely just shocked that that even happened in the first place. It's, like, appalling. Only a few YouTubers I've seen actually say that, like, Welt is like mid or good, or don't even talk about like Aventurine that much. They don't even bring up Aventurine with Acheron. And I want people from now on to realize just because something works doesn't mean it's a good idea. And the best example is things are just definitively better, like most of the time. Because if you're trying to use like Gwenifin versus Pela, Pela will load diff easily. Like, it's not even a comparison at all. So why the hell would you use Gwenifin? She works and she's good, but why the hell are you using good when there's great? What the fuck? Like, are you serious? Why the hell would you use Welt? Yes, well, actually, no, I'm going to be straight and honest with you. No, the fuck he doesn't work. But somehow, let's say you have like a god tier level Welt, or you're just lying straight to my face and says he does work, but let's say he does magically, then why the fuck would you use him when Gallagher's better? The DPS on Acheron is higher when you have Gallagher. Like, just go for the Eidolon at that point. Like, geez, it's like, wait for the save up for the rerun. But oh my god, most of the time there is a definitive yes or no. Just because something works doesn't mean you should do it, or doesn't mean it's a great idea. Go for great, not good. Aim for what's past the stars. You'll end up further than any mountain ever was. Like, Jesus Christ. And it's something that people need to just wrap their head around when making all of these guides. Like, I know all of them work. Yes, you can have like 500k damage if you have this one team, but why the fuck would you do that when you already have the characters for a team that does 800,000 and one shot's a weekly boss? Like, you went from two-shotting to one-shotting a weekly boss. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? If you are not going for the direct best build and the best team you can, most likely your teams are shit and you're not even doing 500k, you're doing 200k and thinking it's good, and you just stop building. Like, what the fuck? So I just really want all of the people making guides, all the people making builds and stuff, I want them to just be more fucking straight with people and just highly promoting the best builds. If you don't have a certain character, then how the fuck are you at like AR 70 or whatever it is? Like, Jesus, if you don't have Pela, good lord, do I feel bad for you. You're not like, you're just most likely not at like Trailblaze level 70. You're not. But you can have some substitutes, but it should never be promoted. It's like, oh yeah, but if you fail, you can salvage with this. Or, oh, you could do this if fucking Pela is taken by the other team. Like, that's what it would be. Like, all of these ones do work and they're good, but Jesus Christ, using Gwenifin is so cope. It's so bad. Like, she's good, I cannot stress that enough, but it just feels like fucking using Amber in your team for the goddamn taunt for the bunny. Like, yeah, it could be very OP in certain teams, but the fuck, Amber? Are you serious? For Genshin Impact. But, oh my goodness, really? Really? Versus just Pela. It's night and day. I don't even want to build. Like, I'm never even going to build Gwenifin because of how she's just not really it. She's just not it, Chief. So stop holding yourself back. Don't fucking build these good characters or decent characters. Build the great ones. Build the best. Like, I'm not just talking about having a full 5-star team with 5-star Lightcones. That's kind of crazy. But literally, 2 fucking 4 stars and 2 5 stars is oftentimes what you're going to run. I'm a free to play. Well, actually, not with Star Rail, but with Genshin in particular, I'll have multiple teams with all 5 stars. Like, you will get characters you want, and you will have Sparkle. You will have at least Bronya. I know you have fucking Bronya, but eventually. But and if you're early game, don't look at builds and stuff. Look at advice, because it's completely different. You can get away with 100 speed builds all the time. Like, you'll have 100 speed, and you'll be cheesing with the one ice guy with the 7 swords or whatever, and you'd be going crazy. But that's because in order for you to be like super OP, you have to do certain things, min-max, not really min-max, but you get one character to a really high level, like the highest level you can, you try to max them out as fast as you can, and you try to get full, like, good not really a matching, but you have like max main stat 4-star artifact set, you would be doing so much damage. You'll one shot like a lot of things. It's not always about like the teams and stuff. It's actually, if you're early game, it's the way how you build your characters is why they're so good. If you're able to like max out the level of one of the characters, you'll be able to do a shit ton of damage. It doesn't matter what fucking build you have or what characters you have. If they are at a good enough level, I mean, it does matter what characters you have though, because looking back on it, but you just do a crazy amount of damage. Like for like, you'll get away with so much more because it's early game and they're actually under leveled. Once you get to like the end game, you're like basically your characters are level 80 when the fucking enemies are level 120. Like you're just fucked. Like you have to be min-maxed beyond an oblivion just to be able to kill like certain like end game stuff. It's crazy. Way too long on a rant. I literally recorded on a black screen. That's gonna suck trying to edit this, make it look good. But yeah, Aventurine is not good unless like it's proven that he does apply enough DOT to surpass a fucking 4-star. But I do think Aventurine, I wouldn't really get him for Acheron, but I know for a fact he will be one of the best characters, the best sustains easily in the game. Second best, hands down. I believe he'll be the second best sustain in the entire game. Hands down. Just because you use a skill point for the shield. Oh my god, if you run Sparkle with them, jeez. But yeah, he's going to be one of the best, hands down, just from the way how his kit works. Hopefully scaling doesn't fucking prove me wrong, but I wouldn't get him for Acheron. If you have him, then it's a debate. But jeez, just make sure, especially when you're looking at everyone's like guides and stuff, you only go for the number 1 stuff. If you don't have it, like especially if it's a 5-star limited banner type stuff, then you go for the one under it, and then you go for the one under that if you don't have it. And sometimes just go get the fucking character. Like it's like with Gallagher, if you got Acheron early and you like on your first 10 pull and you didn't get a single Gallagher yet, keep fucking pulling. Like just keep pulling for a Gallagher. Honestly, like what are you gonna do? Miss a very overpowered, like crucial member of the party? No, the fuck. That's a terrible idea. Terrible idea. Go for great, not for good. If you're going for good, and if you have that mindset that you're not going to go for the best, your artifacts won't be the best, the main stats won't be the best, your substats won't be the best. But people who don't go for the best, even if you don't reach, even if you don't actually get the best, but you're trying to, if you don't do that, then you're probably doing 200k with Acheron. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, I literally do 850k on a single Acheron burst. I can do a 2-turn Acheron burst on the first fucking round. Like, come on. 2 Acheron bursts in a single, I don't even know what it's called, turn, round, I don't know, just back to back. You can't really do 3 though. There's a pretty big gap because the way how it works, and because you start off with a bunch. But at least you have to have the right mindset. You have to have the right mindset, and you have to have the right fucking mindset. If you are not going for great, you will end up with an Acheron that's doing 250,000 per burst. Good lord, do I feel bad for you. Because my god, if she's doing that little damage, I don't even want to know what the other damages are for your other characters. Dude, I just had flashbacks of people's like Jing Liu's doing like fucking 60k. That's disgusting. That's actually disgusting. My fucking Sampo does more damage than that on a skill, which is crazy. 60k is fucking ridiculous. If you want to know what mine is, I think it's like 300k, and then it does 200k right after, so that's 500k. And then I go again through Bronya to do 200 more k, so it's about 750,000. Jesus Christ, Acheron just power crept everybody. But still, go for great, or you'll end up losing horrendously. Because if you're not trying to go for the best, at least trying, you don't have to succeed, you don't have to have Sparkle, you can have Bronya, you can try to make it work, you can have like some things. If you don't have Pela at all, you're fucked. You're actually fucked. You're doomed. Like, if you don't have Pela, you are very far behind. I don't know how that's even possible if you have Acheron. No Pela is crazy. I don't know. If you're a low Trailblaze, just level things up correctly. Play it very smart. I really should elaborate more, but I'm not going to. And yeah, if people keep making all these fucking builds, if people keep hyping up Welt and keep hyping up like other characters like Aventurine, then I'm gonna get pissed. I'm gonna have to keep making more fucking videos actually putting people down. Like, if people keep doing that, I'm actually going to get very mad. Because if you are actually building Welt for Acheron, you're fucked. Like, you are just screwed. Don't. Just don't. I really like Welt. And one of the reasons why I built Welt so quickly is because I really wanted him to be good. I really wanted to use him, but he was never good. He never was. He never was. There was always someone better than him. And because of that, he was never used, and I never built him even once because it was a waste of time. Like, you are like going for third place, you'll end up with like a third of the rewards from all of the other things you're doing. Like, it's sad. But in my opinion, if you're using Welt, he's a preservation. He's not an abundance. He's not a solo sustain. He's just a preservation. He's 0.5 of a character for sustaining. I will try eventually in the future to have like a 155 speed Welt with E2, maybe. And then I'll try again. But I cannot stress to you enough. If I run into problems at all, any problems for a character that is quote unquote a really good support or one of the best or a really good, just good in general, then you're fucking lying. You don't run into problems when things are actually OP, meta, or good. Like, Welt never was meta, no one said that, but Jesus Christ, dude. I had to jump over hoops upon hoops, make my own builds, go away from all the builds that everyone else was saying, just go straight to min-maxing the hell out of his sustainability, and he still fucking sucks. He still only gets you to point B sometimes, maybe. Gallagher's better, and he has a higher, like, he gives you a higher DPS with Acheron. What the fuck? Why would you even bring up Welt in the first place if someone like Gallagher is better? I keep saying him over and over, like, saying his name over and over. It's getting annoying. It's already 17 minutes, me ranting about something that's supposed to take 3 minutes. But, my God, dude. I never expected this. I never did. I never did. I hope that brings some clarity. I guess I was wrong about Aventurine because I actually trusted people. Apparently. Damn. Jesus. Christ, dude. And it's just like, you can't... And one of the other things that got on my nerves recently is, what the fuck? Gallagher was at like the end of the fucking video. Are you retarded? He's literally one of the... He's the best. The best sustain in the entire game for Acheron. By far. Low diff, easy, no competition. Unless you get like nuked or some shit by like the bug. Then you're kind of screwed. Then you might need to run something else. Preservation's actually better than abundance for soul sustaining, which is something I figured out recently, especially with Geopard. He cooks a lot, which is shocking. I mean, sometimes not really, because if they keep attacking rapidly with like pretty big damage, then whatever, I'm off topic. It just pisses me off so much. Like, why the hell is Gallagher in between Welt and Aventurine? My brother in Christ, he should be in a separate fucking category. Like, it should have the actual good, like, characters. Then you should make a... If you don't have those and all the other good things that you have are also in another team, then you could maybe kind of use these. Like, that's what fucking Welt... No, not even Welt. You'll lose, which is hilarious. But then you put, like, other characters in. Like, if you don't have anything else and you have to use Acheron, then you're fucked, but you're also going to use these characters, which is something that really annoys me a lot, because there is a definitive yes or no. Like, when you use Pela versus, like, a good example actually is Pela and Black Swan. Black Swan just does, like, a 20% dev shred to 3 enemies. A lot, like 100% chance basically to apply debuffs, but she's good in Purification, and she can work in some teams, very specific, but there's a definitive yes and no. Pela is better, as a fact. Just flat out, it's a fact. Pela, the 4-star, is better than Black Swan for Def. Shred. No shit. Everyone knows this. So you shouldn't put them in the same category at all. You should say you use Pela, you use one of these harmonies. Oh yeah, use Sparkle. That's actually better. Yeah, you say you use Pela, Sparkle, and Gallagher. That's the best team you can possibly make. But you can also run, like, these teams will also work. Like, you can also use these will work. But if you don't have those and or they're in like a different team or whatever, then you can kind of use these. You have to actually point out the fact that they are behind. You can't just ignore the fact that they're behind. You have to point it out. It's just disgusting how like people would praise Welt so much. He's fucking dog shit. He's dog anus, bro. He flat straight dog anus. He's terrible. Like, actually horrible. Horrible. Like, he's so bad. He has so many flaws. There's more holes in his ass than there is SpongeBob. What the fuck? I've seen fucking cars in the hood with less holes in them. Jesus. But yeah, like, I people need to actually like point out what's the meta, what are the best. Like, you can also throw in, just to be cool, I guess, and if you're smart, you can say these types of characters, if they come out in the future, they would be very OP. These types of characters are what you need, and this is why these characters are the best for them by far. They could be improved in these ways, which I don't see anyone fucking doing at all. One of those is Gallagher. He isn't the best. He's a 4-star, no shit. But Pela is one of those characters that's on a ticking time clock. Pela is on borrowed time. Pela will not be the best eventually. There will be a time where there is an ability that is better. It's obviously a 5-star, no shit. Better than Pela, but just a direct upgrade. Pela will be power crept. It is only a matter of time. Everyone should know this. Because of that, you can add that to your video. Just be like, cool, I'm smart. But another one is Gallagher in particular. Because if there ever is going to be a direct debuffer healer, or like a nihility, maybe a nihility healer, but if there's going to be a healer that does debuff a lot, which I know for a fact will happen, there will be a healer that will maybe do a 20% attack debuff and a 10% damage take, or what was it? Resistance shred, whatever the hell, for a healer. There will be an offensive healer, kind of like the Ho-Ho or whatever her name was, fucking Santa, but how who I don't fucking know. But Jesus. But there could be a reverse of her, where it's just a debuffer, and it's like, oh, now they have like a 10% resistance shred and a 20% attack shred. And that's one of the things that would be interesting and they might add in the future. You can talk about that, but no one does, because I don't fucking know. Because there are characters that are on borrowed time. It's especially Pela. Like, Gallagher has a lot of room for improvement. Because Gallagher exists, there's probably going to be a better Gallagher that's a 5-star, which is going to be hilarious if that does happen. But yeah, Pela's on borrowed time. There's going to be one that will be better. You can also talk about that, talk about why they're good. Pela's good because there's a def shred. She is the best because she has an AoE big def shred, which also can have this with the something pearls of sweat. And when you attack an enemy with def down or whatever it was, can't remember, you gain 11 fucking energy. 11 energy. 11. Jesus. And when you use a skill, you gain like 60% of your energy, so you can use 2 fucking skills. Boom, you got your ult back. Like, skill point positive, a lot of energy, like, just really quick on the energy, applies debuffs reliably if there's a good build. Like, that's why she's good. Why is Sparkle good? Sparkle is actually better than having a second ability, because the total damage and DPS that you'll have will be higher. Sparkle is good because the action advance and yada 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 yada. But like, why you want Sparkle is because of the action advance. You want the damage the damage buff, which will surpass the one trace talent thing that Acheron has easily. And you get a shit ton of skill points, so you can do some funny things like use Pela's skill over and over and over, so you can just ult every 2 seconds. Gallagher, the reason why he's the best sustained is because you use his skill or his basic, and then you use his ultimate, it goes right back up to the top, 100% action advantage, is hilarious. Then you use his enhanced basic, heals the whole team, and you just apply 2 fucking debuffs. You just applied one with the ult and one with the one thing. Like, that's why he's so good. The reason why he's there is because he applies 2 debuffs immediately. Like, he can apply them pretty fast. The downside with him is that he's a fucking 4-star, so he's not gonna have the best healing. And he actually has, like, stupid levels of healing, by the way. Like, disturbing amount of healing. But the main thing is he doesn't apply debuffs super fast and not super reliably. So you could eventually in the future have a healer or a preservation that does apply debuffs. Like, imagine if Aventurine's follow-up applied debuffs. That would actually be stupidly powerful. Like, on another level of powerful for Acheron. But no, he doesn't do that. Like, y'all need to get your fucking act straight. Jesus Christ. I never in a million years would have thought that I would have actually built a bad character. Or built the wrong fucking character. Because other people who's supposed to know what they're fucking talking about don't fucking know what they're talking about. Or when push comes to shove, or it's actually put into practice, it just doesn't fucking work. It doesn't. Like, what the fuck? That actually is insane. I never would have expected that. Why? Why would you do that? Like, can you, like, actually put effort into your own fucking, like, research? Damn. Jesus. Like, they find, like, everyone knows what's good, but they don't know what's fucking great, apparently. Jesus fucking Christ. Can y'all, like, play the game? Or, like, put some research into it? Jesus. Fuck. I hate to put them down like that, but I never in a million years ever would have thought that would actually happen. That would actually happen. Even Aventurine was getting hyped up like he was the best sustained for her, second best. What the fuck? Like, at that point, just use Fushuan. Use Fushuan. I probably wouldn't, actually. I'd probably use Geopard. Geopard has so much potential. I'll use him in the future, actually, because if you're using Sparkle, you're gonna have a very high excess of skill points. If you're using the Bronya Lightcone, you will also have even more. And I do believe spamming his skill will be pretty OP because the energy gain that you'll have. I'd actually use Geopard's skill a lot in a lot of things, and you can freeze like weekly bosses, the Swarm boss, like you can Golden Gears boss, you can freeze anything in the game at all. It's just you rarely freeze them. Not only that, like if they have a lot of freeze res, I mean you won't really freeze Cocolia. I froze Cocolia, which was hilarious, but he won't really freeze her. But still, like it, in my opinion, just isn't worth anything because, oh, they're frozen. That means they're going to go back a turn. Oh, and they're the first fucking thing because their speed's so goddamn high. If they're frozen, they get unfrozen, and then they get to go again. It doesn't matter at all. Like, you can... it's useless, so I just use it for energy. I mean, sometimes it'll be enough to put them behind Sparkle, so now they're behind whatever the fuck I want. So I can just do a Sparkle skill and boom bang pow, I win. Not really. I immediately get fucking nuked right after, but... So the takeaway of this stupid segment... Jesus Christ, it's 12 minutes long. But... the whole point of this segment is fixing a mistake. So Aventurine, I was lied to in front of my fucking face, right in my face, straight to my face. He is not that good. He actually most likely will be, for sustain, he's going to be just goated. He's going to be goated with that sauce, but that sauce is going to be an acquired taste, apparently, because it's not going to really do much. I think he will be worse than Gallagher, which is hilarious, but for Acheron, so hype up Gallagher, like I've been doing, instead of him. And also, go for great and not fucking good. You will end up with no damage. If you go for good or go for third place, you will never win no matter what you do. you have to aim for 0th place. You have to aim for the stars because you're trying to climb a mountain. If you don't do that, you will end up failing miserably. Or you'll do something stupid like what I did and fucking build Welt. Oh my god. I wasted all those materials. He'll be good one day. One day. Maybe. I could easily make a team for him. And another thing you could do for Welt is like actually try to predict the future. If there's something with the bounce that has like high break, you could have a DPS that has high break, bounce, or whatever to help reduce the bar. And as a DPS, if you have that with Ron May, you will be doing a lot. Like, you'd be doing a lot. Especially if you have something that boosts the speed of everybody quite significantly with the attack as well. Asta. But if you have Asta La Vista, you will, in that team with that new character I pulled out of my ass, you should be able to absolutely destroy a lot of imaginary bosses. And also, another thing with that is you could replace Asta with the main DPS because of how long that bar will just be gone for. So if you want Welt, I guess hope for that fake character I just made up, I guess. But, nah, whatever. It doesn't even need to be balanced. It could just be imaginary that just takes a set amount of the bar. Whatever, you get the point. You get the point. I mean, if the scaling's really high, it makes it the best character. Scaling is above all else, which is actually sad, but it's whatever. Why do you think our Acheron's so good? But yeah, that's all. Okay, no, it's not. There's one more thing. So one thing with Acheron, the number one problem that she has is actually how long it takes her to get her burst up. In a lot of things, especially in Golden Gears, she's actually useless in Golden Gears. But she takes forever to get her ult back up. So that's the number one thing that needs improvement. That's the thing you should be looking out for in the future. Is something that can, like, most likely have a follow-up attack that applies to debuff, or follow-up attack that applies to debuff that also buffs the team, like a harmony. I don't know, but you need more debuffs, like a debuff on the basic skill alt, and there's a follow-up or whatever. So you basically just need more debuffs faster and more reliably, so you can get her alt up a lot quicker. That's the number one problem that would need to be addressed. Everything else kind of is Gucci. So yeah, so if you want a future character, keep an eye out for ones that will be able to apply debuffs rapidly, preferably one that can apply 3 in a single turn rather than 2. And it has to replace a character that isn't doing too many debuffs. So, whatever. Dude, imagine if Pela had a fucking follow-up attack that debuffed the enemy. Dude, she'd be goated with the sauce. Goated. I don't know, I'm rambling. That probably was a bunch of just mumbo-jumbo. So whatever, it doesn't matter. Back to the video. I could give you a terrible example of Gallagher cooking. So, the video is way too laggy and choppy to know what was going on, so I'm replacing it with a new one. I swear to God, if this is laggy at all, I'm gonna be mad. I messed it up again. Are you serious? Oh my God. It doesn't matter. I have E2, so it'll make up for the mistake. Okay, well, let me go first. Oh, shit. So yeah, look, I have 3 from the over, and I get 1. I get 2 more. Full healed is crazy. Get another one. Now, this is why I messed up. Normally, Pela actually has her ultimate ready, her burst ready. Normally she has her burst ready. So I use her burst, then the whatever one I want, and Acheron would have her burst up already. But a good example is you wanting to use Sparkle to get the buff if you have the one Lightcone. But yeah, look. See, I made up for my mistake. And then you use it right after. And that's how you get 2 ultimates in a single turn, which is very funny. Also, a good example of Gallagher And he has a 95. He's all the way down there. Wow, shit. So let's pretend that I used Gallagher and I used the basic attack and his turn went all the way down. I use this. Now he's all the way up. And, oh, okay, I forgot to.
Ready for another?
Then you get to go again. Acheron went from 3 to 5 because of Gallagher. He also has that much energy, and I'll show you how much you'll have after. I don't know exactly what happened, but he's already up here by now. But I could use the skill. And now he's almost already. So through getting just okay, that's okay. So through just 2 turns, like 2 Gallagher turns, I was able to get another ultimate up. So that's like 1 debuff per turn. It's pretty crazy on average. But yeah, double Acheron burst is actually crazy with this team.
9, 1.
GG, I guess. So yeah, use Gallagher and not fucking Welt. Welt's ass. Like, actually dog shit in comparison to Gallagher. I cannot stress this enough. I threw together a terrible build for Gallagher, and he was cooking. Like, he was cooking like crazy. And I had a lot more healing, but a lot less speed. Now, right now, I have a really, really good build on him. Like, look at these break effects at the bottom. Look at this one. This one was hilarious. Look. Disgusting. It's perfect. Oh my goodness. But yeah, he has a really, really good build on. There we go. 113 break effect. Another thing with Gallagher is you can get an R5 of this. So you'll have a lot. You'll have a lot. I didn't like this Lightcone at all because it's like on another level of excessive for the healing, the self-healing. To the point where it felt like a waste. But, I mean, like, borderline 50 break effect is actually kind of crazy. You can hit 150 break effect with, like, 130 speed if you min-max them. Jesus. But even with a really terrible build, Gallagher was better than Welt. And when I had a really, really good build, Gallagher was hilarious because he was really, really good, like 3 times better than Welt. Like, the only reason why you would even use Welt is because you need that extra nihility. And I really rather not. You are sacrificing basically your only sustain for more damage, kind of. And at that point, I would just rock, like, Black Swan or the other one character. Silverwolf, or you rock Silverwolf, one of the two. So you just do a big, funny number. And just instantly win. But yeah, that's all I had to say. I had to vent that because, my god, people will not stop, like, sucking off Welt. Like, holy hell. I know he's, like, extremely good looking. 10 out of 10 design and whatever. But Jesus Christ, dude. I had to, like, farm for a whole month just to even get him working. And I had to make up my own set from my knowledge. Not even someone else's stuff. Like, look at this. Who the hell uses these with Welt? That's disgusting. No one does this shit. No one, like, tries to overkill on speed and then fails miserably. But, like, it's just so stupid. Like, I had to do all of this just to make him even playable. Like, I cannot stress you enough. When I had the normal damage dealer support sustain build thing that everyone else had, and basically, yeah, this set with some other relic that I forgot, he literally was behind the enemy, like, the entire time. Like, his speed was so bad, and his energy was infinitely times worse. It was just disgusting. Like, Mine has 130 speed, but when I play him right, he acts as if he has like 145. And if I use Sparkle and like once on him or whatever, he has like 150 speed basically. So if, like, you have to actually run a disgusting level of speed just to make him even remotely useful. Like, what the actual hell? Like, okay, yeah, best character, my fucking ass, because I cannot stress you enough. Gallagher, I could just take off half his fucking relics. I could just take off this relic right here. And that's basically it. But I can take off, like, this one. I can take off this one. I can put on, I don't know, this Lightcone. Or just some really terrible Lightcone, or like, and he'll cheese compared to Welt. Like, it's night and day. Like, Gallagher, you can run like 60 break effect and he works. 60 fucking break effect with like 120 speed. Not even a full relic of speed. Like, the hell? Like, really? And he actually, you can actually beat a lot of things with it, but Welt, you can only beat a handful of mobs with this build. Like, I had to switch this Lightcone from another character because I have like no good ones, but I have to use every single energy thing that I had. Like, he's 8 and 8. Like, I would have to get, in order for me to make him like useful, I will have to get this to level 10. And that one, I think, just doesn't matter. So I'll have to get this one to level 10. To level 10. To make him useful. Gallagher over here, he could have a level 6. I like literally a level 6. But I could have level 6s on all of his talents and just not have any of these things on the side. And he works. But Welt doesn't. Welt has all of this shit, dude. And he doesn't even work. He's even C1. I don't even know what his C1 does. Oh, that's actually cringe. When his talent is triggered, Welt regenerates 3 energy. When hitting an enemy. Okay, so, yeah, you have to have Welt at C2. You have to have him at C2. You have to have this specific fucking Lightcone. You have to have this whack-ass build. You have to sacrifice all of your damage. You have to get God rolls, basically, on speed. So you have 145 speed on him. And then he's, like, useful. Then he's useful. You have to have this disgusting build just to make him useful. I know there's gonna be someone who's like a terrible build on him and somehow is beating a bunch of things, but like, dude, fuck no. I shouldn't have to even complain about one of her best supports. No, her fucking best support is her support you don't bitch and complain about every 2 seconds. Like, I shouldn't even have the right to complain about Welt if he is so good. Like, I had to build a character because of how many people were hyping him up and how good everyone thought he was. Nah, y'all are just trolling my ass. An April Fool's joke far before April. Like, disgusting. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. And, like, running an extra nihility isn't a great thing. Like, to sacrifice 90 or 80% of your sustainability just to have Welt is disgusting. Like, in order for you to actually properly use Welt, you have to, like, ult 3 times before the enemy gets to go. Like, how the hell do you even do that? Like, what? Like, yeah, so you need C2 in particular. So when you have C2, very specific Lightcones, and you have a level 10 fucking burst, level 10, that's disgusting. And you have to have, like, crazy artifacts. Mine aren't that good. Despite having, like, a million of the wind set, I have like no good pieces. But you have to have one of the best sets. You have to have one of the best of everything just to make him even good. Even an Eidolon is required. Like, there's no way in hell this isn't required. Like, this is just disgusting. This is disgusting. Like, actually truly disgusting. Like, I don't like this in the slightest. Like, at all. And I know for a fact his skill does give more energy than his basic. I gotta look more into that. It's the only one I'm not confident on. But his basic does basically more energy. And I'm guessing it's because of this little funny thing. If I had another constellation, yada yada yada. But whatever, it's just not even close to worth it. Like, he's skill point positive, but that doesn't mean shit at all. Like, what you need to do with Welt is use him with a sustain. If you use him with a sustain, then it gets quite funny, because now you can actually, like, use him to his fullest advantage. Like, Welt was made specifically for, like, a team with a sustain. He's not made to be a sustain. And if you want him to break that, you have to have a build that is just too good to the point where it's kind of coping. Like, it's tragic. Like with Gallagher, because if I wanted to do like a similar thing with Welt, but on Gallagher, I would have the R5 Lightcone, because it's actually really easy to get. But, and free, I guess. But I'd have the R5 Lightcone, I'd have like 200% break effect, like 130 speed, and I would just full heal everything with every single heal I have. Like, it's just disgusting. Like, the comparison is just night and day. It just isn't it, Chief. The only thing that's good about Welt and Acheron is the fact that he is Nihility, and that's literally it. That is the only thing. Like, that's the only reason why he was brought up in the first place, is because he's Nihility. That's just depressing. Like, I mean, he does also debuff the enemies, which I didn't even showcase. It is pretty good. But, no, it's also not. It's really not. It's just not it, Chief. It's really not. At all. So stop fucking hyping him up. He's not that good. This is the meta team. The meta team. Right here. This is the meta. Just fucking copy it. You don't have Sparkle, use Bronya. I don't know if Silverwolf's better. She most likely is a lot better, but I don't know. So you have Acheron, Pela, or Silverwolf. You have Sparkle or Bronya, and you have Gallagher. That's it. Also, you can rock Bronya. Everyone's coping like crazy when they say you can't use Bronya, or like Sparkle's 10 times better. No, Bronya is... She gives more damage. I'm just gonna be real with you. She gives more damage than Sparkle does. So, get fucked, I guess. But yeah, in my opinion, I use Sparkle a lot more. Those skill points is like night and day. And another thing people keep sleeping on is simply Pela than her skill. Her skill has a higher chance, basically, to proc debuff, which literally doesn't matter at all. But here's the reason why Pela's skill is so important. Watch.
Do we still have the upper hand?
Look at that shit. Look at that. That's disgusting. Look. 2 skills and she's full. You can ult like every turn. Watch this.
Commencing support.
Oh, I have to use the ultimate. It's cringe.
The answer.
See, this is why you use Sparkle instead of Bronya.
Enemy data secure.
There we go. Boom. Look at this. Did it twice. Look at that. Now she has 15. 15 placement. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Step up, let's see ya.
The only downside with Gallagher is you have to use the skill on Sparkle or Bronya, because they don't really attack. Yeah, look at this. Boop. There you go. She also gets attacked like 24/7. Like, I think enemies are pretty racist towards her. Like, very racist towards Pela, because she gets, oh my god, hardcore attacked, low HP, and still. But yeah. Dude, I have a S1 of this, and it's like actually getting on my nerves. I have a total of 1, and I never got another one. That's besides the point. Besides the point. If you actually know a lot and you're really good at the game, you can manipulate stuff like energy. You can use a Pela skill to get the ult off an entire turn early. You can use a lot of things to your advantage. Especially with skill points. Now, another thing is Gallagher, I should have showed you as well. But especially for healers, like even Bailu, I will use Bailu's skill before, like right before an enemy does like a big ult. Because if Bailu's energy is low, I'm going to need that burst ASAP. So if they're going to do an ult, take like half my health away. I will use Bailu's skill so she gets a lot more energy. And it's very noticeable. Also, Bailu, another funny build that I seen not too long ago is you can do a hyper speed Bailu where you have like 130 speed and you have the one Lightcone. I think it is. Yeah, it's this one. And do a few other things, and she gets to attack like every 2 seconds, she becomes very skill point positive. That's really funny. But yeah, I got so mad after testing this for like the 10th time and having to literally make my own build up from my own mind. Like, really got on my nerves, especially for people who keep hyping it up with like Acheron. Like, dude, I'm dead ass right now. Natasha, wherever she is. So this Natasha right here with a 105 speed is better than Welt. Like, it's disgusting and it pissed me off. Like, look at this. Look at this build. I have the funniest build on her. Ugh. It makes me so mad. It makes me so mad. Like, I honestly, deadass, would rather use Sampo in Simulated Universe with the one nihility thing to where it, like, heals you when you apply debuffs. Or whatever it was. It makes me so mad. He does 50k per skill. Sampo's funny. You just do 50k on a skill, remove half their toughness bar. That's also another thing that I'm going to bring up right now, because of course I will, is bounce things and are like the only things, or just crazy scaling for toughness, that actually make toughness like an actual thing to factor in. Because one of the things that has pissed me off a lot is before Ron May was added, toughness, you're never going to break their toughness. You will literally do 5 fucking rotations before you break the toughness once. What the hell is everyone smoking? Like, what the actual hell? Like, I used to study all the Genshin Impact stuff, go in depth into, like, the numbers and do all this crazy shit. And then, like, I would find, like, a bunch of smart people, and no one would say some dumb stuff like, oh, toughness break in the same sentence as a build. Like, you don't even mention toughness in a build unless it's like Sampo with Ron May. If you use Ron May and Sampo together, that is the only time I have ever been able to reliably break. At all. The only time. And if you're able to break, you're able to kill the enemy far before. Every single time, if you have a actual good DPS and you're not dog shit, you're not making these stupid ass builds or these terrible builds, then you're not gonna like end up breaking them, because they're gonna die before you even break it. Like, I had dot teams that would actively kill the enemy before it would even break them at all. Ron May was the only time I have ever been able to reliably, quote unquote, because it's not reliable at all, break any toughness that's not an enemy that will just get fucking 2-shot. Like, are you serious right now? Like, really? You mean that one enemy that you're able to, like, oh, you can break all the time, like that one enemy that you break and it does half their fucking health? Yeah, no. This is stupid. This is so stupid. Like, I hate this so much. Jesus Christ, dude. It's pissing me off. That's another thing that got real mad. This is super off topic, but Jesus Christ, dude. Gets on my nerves. So it's like, with the, I am not going to pronounce that shit at all. But with her as well, like, if a 5-star 2.0 of her came out, like a 5-star version of her who also had, like a high toughness break bounce, and with Ron May, then breaks would actually be a thing. And another thing with breaks is their damage is pretty completely fucking terrible. Even if you have a million break effect, the damage is like at most 50k. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, that 5 rotations and my 4.3 million damage that I just did to the boss, you know, that 50k is totally helpful. Like, oh, it could be the make or break for that last turn, but I'm gonna be real with you, no the fuck it isn't, and that's just cope. Because look at this shit. Look at this. Max stars, like that matters. Max stars or whatever. Like, I didn't even do the right teams. I just overpowered it. I power creeped it. But yeah, look at these goofy ass teams, bro. This is the only, like, actual good team. Name one fucker that used this team. Name one person that used this team. Like, come on. Like, I used this team, and you're telling me break is super important. No, it's not. Break is only good in certain situations, and it's only good very rarely. Just very rarely. If you could time it to cancel an ultimate or to break the enemy so that enemy that was going to attack now is behind your main DPS instead of ahead of, and now you can land like a killing blow to it, just like cheesing it, saving you a lot of damage and maybe a skill point from the healer. But oh my goodness, this is an hour-long video. Holy fuck. But God, that actually really made me annoyed. Oh my god. So stop fucking building Welt for Acheron. Don't. Just don't, dude. My goodness. Like, I know mine is the Lightcone. I think her Lightcone gives her the one, or it's the Eidolon. I have S1 because that's, or whatever it is. It doesn't at all, so it is the Lightcone that gives it +1. I don't know. I get 2 and I think instead of 1. I don't know. I gotta relook into it. But stop building fucking Welt. Jesus Christ, guys. Oh my god. Stop. What the hell are you guys, like, smoking? Like, are you literally inhaling, like just cocaine, just pure Colombian cocaine, like, just through the fucking mouth? Like, Jesus Christ. Probably drinking liquid cocaine to come up with some shit like that. Smoking that canned weed. Like, oh, jeez. Some stale canned weed. You know, those preservative canned weed. Bruh, we need some canned weed. If the world's gonna end, we need a few joints to ease the pain and the stress of doom and gloom. Canned weed. Apocalypse weed. I'm gonna actually make a company that sells that one day as a joke. If the world ends, at least you'll be able to not be as stressed. But yeah, don't build Welt. That shit's fucking stupid. Build Gallagher. You know what? Just copy this team. Just copy this team. Just fucking copy it. You can use Bronya here. Just copy this fucking team. It's free to play. I literally, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, hop off the canned weed and I'm out. See ya. Fuck this shit. I'm tired. I'm going to sleep.